have to say that mornings like today are why I love living in San Diego. It's perfect. Skies are cloudy and blue, the temperature is perfect. I feel good. It's Friday before a 3-day weekend, and I'm not scared for a 3-day weekend right now. 3 days to not work, but I'm enough myself now where I'm excited to do my own work. Like I have things I want to do this weekend, and that's huge. I feel like me. It's been a long time since I felt like me. I don't like feeling scared by time, which has been the past 11 and a half weeks. Expanses of time make me afraid, but I'm not feeling it today. I had a great evening last night. Really good conversation with somebody never really talked to before. It took a little bit of control back of my life. Of course, I can't control a corgi. Hey, come on, let's go. Control is indeed an illusion, but today I feel good. My heart doesn't feel heavy. And I know there's crap to come and it'll get bad and stuff like that, but again, in this present moment, I'm excited to go to work. I'm excited to work with the kids, and the projects are getting fun and interesting. Come on, man, do your thing. There you go, good girl. I ordered a photograph yesterday. Actually, I ordered a triptych, and I'll have to tell you that story at some point, but there's a photographer who he was part of her story first. He's from Dallas, she's from Dallas. She claims to have known him when he was young. And then he kept popping up. Anytime we were gonna go somewhere or do something, he had done it very recently and done it more beautifully and more elegantly. All his candid photos of him and his husband. When we went to Africa, he and his husband had been to Kenya and took these beautiful pictures in like a tree house that they had stayed in. And when we were in Sydney for New Year's, I think he was there at the same time, and his photos were just amazing. He's always just kind of, all right, we gotta go, come on. He's always just been there, kind of like, like a Simpsons did it kind of way, but he's just always been ahead of me. When I looked at that one apartment, the brand new building, the place that I could imagine myself living at, when the elevator doors opened, there was a triptych of his hanging in the hallway. I thought, man, and I took it as an omen. I was like, oh, this is a sign that I could be okay. So since I can't live there, but since I feel like his work kind of showed me even a building that hadn't opened yet that I could potentially move into. He'd already been there. That was my omen of, okay, you're strangely showing me the way, like you're a trail of breadcrumbs. So that triptych that was hanging in the hallway, I bought a small version because I don't have money, but I bought the triptych and I'm gonna frame it and I'm gonna hang it at my house, and that's me moving on. That's me taking control of my environment and being okay. And I'm so excited. It is 7:15 at night. I got here at almost 12 hours ago. So hopefully I'm making up for some shorter days that I've had and some lack of presence that maybe I've felt towards not being available to students. Yeah, great day. Got so much done. I think it was good for the kids, and I taught people things, and I don't know, I just feel really good. I just had a really super phone call with a friend. We just went over a lot of things and recounted things, and I came away from that feeling really good. Now I need to go home and get the dog out because it's been kind of a long day. Can I show you one thing I like? Check these out. Those are some of the little things, like when I walk around the neighborhood here, I always like checking those out. And the clouds are great. I sort of want to rush home and maybe try and time-lapse some of the clouds. I don't know if it's gonna work, but okay, I'm gonna go. And then I'll pick this up after I have cameras running. So I'll talk to you in a little bit. Okay, bye. I am so glad I did that. The sunset was really incredible. The clouds were voluminous and the sun just kind of lit them up orange, and parts were deep orange and parts were golden, and there are parts later on that went towards purple. I still have my other camera up there running, but well, I guess you will have seen it by now because I'll put them in here. It was cool, and I'm glad I trusted my instincts again. I feel good because I haven't talked to her. I saw her Driving north yesterday, she was behind me. As I turned onto A Street, I made a left. And as I looked to the right, her car was nosing over the hill to get onto A Street also, 1 block down. And I thought, God, what are the odds? Why do I keep seeing her? I drove kind of slow because I wanted to see if it was her. And then as I got on, I figured she'd take a certain road north to go to where she lives, but she didn't. So she got on 5 behind me. And then I drove slow because I thought she'd passed me and thought maybe she was going to Bar Method, but she exited elsewhere. And you just wonder, like, what is she up to? What is she doing? And I was chewing on it and stuff. The thing I love is that one of my really good friends reframed it and said, yeah, but this time she was in your rearview mirror. Like, she was behind you. And I kind of love that. Like, yeah, she's behind me. I put her behind me. And that was kind of awesome. I love that, at least for once, I was looking back at her. She probably didn't even notice me. Like, she doesn't think like that, probably. But it was good for me. And then I got home tonight and I'm crazy hungry. And, well, I'm walking down to the taco stand because it's so good. And I can't imagine anything else tasting as good as a burrito right now. So I'm gonna do that. It's Friday night. I don't have plans with anyone and I feel okay. It's gonna be an alright night. So, yay. Here is my utter disappointment. I went down to the taco stand, very, very excited about it, and the line was out the door and down the street, and it would have taken forever. And I'm really sad because I really wanted tacos. I really wanted that shrimp and steak burrito. So I'm gonna try something else brave. And I'm going to go to the Mexican place that we used to love here. It's the second restaurant we ever ate at in San Diego. The people know us. They've known us our entire relationship. They've known us. And what am I gonna do? Not go there anymore? So I'm gonna go by myself. I'm gonna take myself out to dinner at a place that I like because I want their food, because I can't have the taco stand burrito. And it'll be okay. What's the worst that can happen? I'm alone in a restaurant and I feel sad. That's okay, I'll risk it. Taking myself out to dinner. Friday night, by myself. And I'm okay. Honestly, I'm okay, and it's weird. I keep checking to think, like, am I being really defensive? But no, I had a good day, I had a long day, and now I can just chill. I can get the food I want at the time I want. I'm not on anyone else's schedule. Not that I mind being on someone else's schedule, but I'm okay tonight. I thought about trying to text someone and be like, hey, do you want to meet up, blah, blah, blah. But I don't want to wait for somebody else to be like, oh, I'm not ready to eat. I don't want to wait for no replies. I don't want to wait for, I'm doing this thing maybe in a half hour. Like, I'm hungry now, so I'm gonna go eat. And it doesn't matter to anybody but me. And right now, that's okay. I keep thinking about the different things that Gina told me last night about, like, how he really doesn't drink. One drink and he's hammered. That was interesting to contrast that who can drink a lot. So how's that gonna play out? I think about her talking about how he would be looking for someone like a companion, that he's not looking for passion. And I keep thinking, well, that's not gonna work. Or maybe, who knows, maybe it will. But yeah, I'm really hung up on the fact that when he got back from Europe, he kept trying to have sex with her, with his girlfriend, and that he didn't, the homeless people are crazy. That they didn't break up for a week or two. Crazy people. I don't know. Well, that dude was weird. He was walking up the street, and I don't know if he thought I was filming the street, but he jumped in the bushes, and then, yeah, it was weird. He didn't break up with her immediately upon returning home. She broke up with me. She moved out. But he broke up with her a week or two after he got back. And he tried to get with her. He tried to have sex with her. And he was calling her babe and saying sweet things. So he wasn't all in. Haha. That's weird. So I wonder, how does that bode? Does he know now that she's crazy? Does he have a sense that she's a narcissist? Ah! Jesus Christ! Okay, what a crazy night. So when I just yelled, Jesus Christ, the weird guy that I saw earlier in that clip, when I was walking up the sidewalk, he dove in the bushes. And then he kind of pressed himself against the building, and he was carrying a stick and had bare feet. And it was just like a crazy homeless guy. So that was weird. And then I'd gotten pretty far down the sidewalk, and all of a sudden he was sprinting up the sidewalk behind me. I heard the footsteps, and I was like, there's this guy with a huge stick running at me. And I thought, oh Jesus, I'm gonna get laid out. And then he just ran past, and he ran up maybe another half block, and turned abruptly right and ran up a driveway. And when I screamed, he was like, sorry. It was so flippin' weird. So that was strange. And I'm a little, not that I'm traumatized, but I'm kind of trying to, in my periphery, look around to make sure crazy stick guy isn't near. And then I got to the Mexican place that's one of my really special to me places, and it was really a special to us place. And I sat at the table that we used to always sit at because it was open. And the owner came over and he said, oh, is it just you? And I said, yes. And he said, is everything okay? And I said, no. And I told him the story, and he couldn't believe it. I got there sometime after 8, and quite honestly, he sat and talked to me for an hour and a half, almost 2 hours, just about life. And he talked to me as a friend, as a father, as a mentor, as he would tell me these different anecdotes and say, as your friend, blah blah blah, as your father, blah blah blah, as your brother, blah blah blah. And it was really a sweet way of connecting with somebody. And I really felt cared about by somebody I've known for 7 years. But here's what's funny. He never knew my name. It's funny how things come full circle. But he said that he and his wife, love us. I've always loved us. And he said we're the model for what a couple should be. And I very much agree. But he never knew our name. So I kind of introduced myself. And my relationship with him, Hamilton, that relationship changed, and I feel closer now, and he knows me more. And both of his kids came in. I talked to them individually. They're both juniors, and I talked to them about their senior year, and he told me he told me a couple great things. First off, that I could always count on them and rely on them, and I should come around, and they wanted to see me, which is perfect. It makes me feel loved and cared about. And he told me I should have fun and I shouldn't get into another relationship right away. His big thesis was that time is the big healer. Give it time, give her time, give it time. I couldn't quite explain to him that it's not a time thing. She has bigger fish to fry, and she doesn't want me, and time's not going to fix this one. But I really respectfully said, oh, thank you, I'll give it time. And he told me to have as much fun as I could, which I will try to do. He told me, if I was, I told him about the girl that I kind of liked, and he said I should bring her by there, and I said, oh, thank you. And he said, so it was a really sweet form of encouragement. He wants me to be happy, and I feel cared about. I had a burrito, and I had a skinny margarita, which is exactly what I wanted. And then at one point, the waiter came by and he said, oh, get him another one on me. I've never really been comped drinks like that before, but I didn't really want a second drink, but the gesture was so strong, I appreciated it. So it was a night that didn't go exactly as planned, but my heart is full. I feel loved and cared about, and I'm really grateful for the people that own that restaurant. That's the reason I've gone there for 7 years. That's the reason on our first trip to San Diego, we went there twice, because we liked it and we liked the people. And that's the reason I'll continue to go there. I'm a little emotional. I feel so cared about right now. So I got a text in the middle of recording that video. My running partner was like, I'm across from your house. Do you want to hang out? So I said yes, and I'm going upstairs to meet her. This night just keeps getting more interesting. Should be good, or interesting at very least. So I will catch up with you again in a second, I guess.